So I'm gonna assume that what just happened is kind of a normal occurrence by the way they worded it. Outside the Institute, the sun had long since set, and the sky was tinted in black and dark blue. He brought me to a very busy place in Coing, where Adolf often went. The creaking of the door was overwhelmed by the sound of drunken frivolity. No one seemed to notice him, perhaps not expecting that Scien Brothais would eat anywhere in Coing. I took a bite of the food that Scien ordered.
すでにお前も察しているだろうが、ああいった暗殺まがいのことが起きるのは何も初めてではない。
As you're aware by now, it isn't the first time someone's tried to kill me. I straightened up at those words. When you warned me, I thought you were talking more about employees stealing each other's work.
無論そういった争いも水面下では起きている。だが今回の件はそれとは別だ。
Of course, such conflicts do happen behind closed doors. But this is a different case.
俺はとにかく敵を作りやすい人格と立場でな。
My position and personality have made me many enemies.
研究所の対立派閥、エクソシスト教団。果ては俺の意を借りて威張り散らす王族にさえ疎ましく思われているほどだ。
Enemies at the Institute, the Society of Exorcists, and the royal family who fawns over me. All see me as a pest. Even the royal family? But this country was saved by your inventions. Aren't they supposed to show their appreciation to you on everyone's behalf? Well, they are the royal family. Him... By... They probably think they shouldn't have to show appreciation to someone. That they should be on top, and so they want him gone.
So んな殊勝な一面が連中にあると思うか?
Do you seriously think they do that?
教示しか取り柄のない連中からしてみれば、俺のご機嫌伺いをしながら政治をするのがよほど不満なんだろうさ。
They have the royal titles and nothing else. So I can only imagine how much it must wound their pride to suck up to me.
民からの支持が俺に集まっているのも気に食わんのだろう。
I also think they dislike the fact that I have the support of the general populace.
故に好きあらば俺を殺害し技術を奪おうと何十年単位で暗殺者を差し向けてきているわけだ。
Which is why they've been sending assassins for decades to kill me and steal my technology.
今の俺は覚えていないが、ナイフでめった刺しにされた上、生き埋めにされたこともあったらしい。
My current self doesn't remember much, but it seems I was once stabbed multiple times and buried alive. I came with the Brad, damn it. He only came here because they give us free bread. It's Olive Garden. Scien broke off a piece of bread and tossed it into his mouth. As I looked on in utter disbelief.
まあそんなわけで、今後もこういったこともあるだろうが、特に気にせず仕事に励め。
So there you have it. What you saw back there may happen again, so don't mind it and just work hard. Why? Before I knew it, I had stopped eating and was staring at Scien. His nonchalant attitude and browsiness looked and sounded strange to me. Why are you so calm about what happened? You saved so many people's lives, but people keep trying to kill you. Don't you ever get upset by it? I knew he didn't like to discuss emotions. But instead of simply dismissing my question,
ない。
no. It was a simple reply.
俺はこの国の人間を生かすために生まれた存在だ。
I was born to keep the people of this country alive.
故にその任を降りた瞬間、シアン・ブロフィワーズの存在意義はなくなる。
The moment I step down from my post, I will lose my identity as Scien Brofis.
その責務に比べれば、人間の悪意程度どうということはないだろう。
Compared to that responsibility, human malice means nothing to me. He expressed it in a straightforward manner. The old me would have looked at Scien in awe, praising him for his dedication. But did that sense of responsibility come about from goodwill alone?
お前はどう思う？
What do you think? To be entirely honest, I feel like you have other motives.
お前も俺のことを多少は理解できるようになってきたか？
It seems as if you're finally starting to understand who I am. Yves did give me some insight about him before, but Scien, you're a scientist I respect who evaluates everyone fairly. Which is why I don't want you to get used to being killed, even though you can revive yourself as a reliver.
では俺が殺されて当然の非道な悪人だとしたら？
Then let me ask. What if I'm a ruthless villain who deserves death? Huh? Scien tipped his glass of wine and held it up to the lights.
俺に雇われるにあたり、どうせあの豊島から何かと警告されていただろう。
Before you came to work for me, I assume you were fed some information about me by that old witch? How do you know that?
長い付き合いだからな。だいたい見当がつく。
We've known each other so long, call it a hunch.
そしてあの女の言う通り、俺は普通の人間から見れば、間違いなく悪党の類に入るだろう。
Whatever she said about me is true. In the eyes of a normal person, I'm considered evil.
それも、お前を失望させるほどのな。
And I will easily disappoint you. That's... I wanted to tell him that wasn't true, but I couldn't say it. Maybe it was because I already heard from Yves that Scien had admitted to being a bad person.
本来ならば教える義理はないが、今後のことを考えると変に神聖視されるのは避けたい。
I don't have any reason to share this, but I wanted to bring it up now so you wouldn't think I was some saint. Scien glanced at the clock on the wall.
深夜2時。そろそろいい頃合いだ。食事を終えたらすぐに研究所に戻るぞ。
It's 2 in the morning. I suppose it's about time? Let's head back to the Institute after we finish eating.
お前が奇跡だと盲目的に称賛するリライバー技術の現実というものを見せてやる。
I'll show you the truth behind my reliver technology that you blindly praise as a miracle. I mean, I'm pretty sure... I mean, this is lives we're talking about, so... In terms of, like, advancements in technology for lives living again, I imagine a lot of death had to happen in the past. And probably is still happening. That's the prisoners. It's one of those no advancement without sacrifice kind of things. Which isn't right, but I mean, it is the only way for them to advance, unfortunately. So if that is what they're doing, I do understand why. But at least they're doing it on the prisoners. Now if they're doing it on civilians, that's not okay. He stared endearingly at the glass in his hand. Scien then gulped the last of the wine remaining. Afterward. I felt something strange when we returned. The silence was ringing in my ears. The Institute was usually busy with people even past midnight, but for some reason no one was around. Where is everyone?
今日は全員俺とダハトの指示で個室と居住区に帰らせている。
Donut and I both gave orders to the staff to return home or to stay inside the rooms. Scien adjusted his lab coat as he quickly walked down the hallway. We came to a dead end with nothing around. The next moment, Scien bit his finger. He tore a piece of his skin off. Ouch. Scien's finger slowly dripped red, and he placed his hand against a wall.
シアンブロフィワーズの遺伝子を承認。
Oh, like a secret entrance.
扉のロック解除には生体認証後全セキュリティ33件を60秒以内に自力で解除する必要があります。
Voice match required. 33 security prompts will be deployed within 60 seconds of voice recognition.
構わん、カウントを開始しろ。
Just start to count. At the sound of his voice, a screen appeared in front of him. He quickly moved his fingers to input the codes as prompted.
コンプリート。シアンブロフィワーズ本人と判断。ようこそ第 SB 班の研究室へ。
Complete, Scien Brofies. Confirmed. Welcome to Team SB Laboratory. The wall that formed the dead ends vanished, as if to make way for a god.
行くぞ。
Let's go. Let's see if my theory is right. I'm pretty sure it is. Scien continued on in the darkness. We walked for a while and...
今から見せる光景を記憶に焼き付けておけ。
Don't forget what you're about to see.
これが俺の悪党と呼ばれるゆえんだ。
This is the very reason people call me evil. The place where Scien led me. Ah? It was the furthest thing from the salvation I had associated with him. A sight filled with unimaginable torture. My chest seemed to collapse with pain, and I could hardly breathe. This place... what I was seeing. Are they dead bodies? I managed to voice my question with the hopes that I would be told otherwise. What I was seeing was beyond inhumane. But if I could only be proven wrong. Scien saved the lives of many people in his country from the curse of death.
いや、今もなお生きている人間だ。とっくに正気は失っているがな。
No, they're living, breathing humans. Well, most of them are unconscious. My last hope was dashed by the very person I had looked up to for so long.
こいつらには通常よりもリスクがはるかに高い人体実験に協力してもらっている。
They're all cooperating with me in my higher risk experiments.
残念なことにそこにいる個体は遺伝子をいじった末に肺が腐りきったので、これが終わったら使い物にならんな。
Unfortunately, that specimen's lungs have rotted after his genes were modified. So once the experiment's done, he's of no use. Specimen? Modified? Why? Why are you doing such a horrible thing?
リライバー研究のために決まっているだろう。
For reliable research, of course.
まさかリライバー技術が何の犠牲もない純粋なる科学だけで生まれたものだと夢見ていたか？
Don't tell me we're actually dreaming that reliable technology was created purely from science without any sacrifices.
科学分野においてサンプルを用いた知見は必要不可欠。
Clinical trials requiring test subjects are essential in the field of science.
俺はその資源として何十年にもわたり王族から不要な死刑囚たちを買い取っているわけだ。
I've been purchasing excess prisoners from the royal family for years now, so they have a steady stream of resources. No matter how arrogant or selfish people called him, I didn't see him as evil on the inside. I was someone who spread misfortune and killed those dear around me. So I saw him as my complete opposite. A person who used his knowledge to save the masses. My blind faith, my respect, and the warm feelings I had for him.
さて、よく見ろ、死神の小娘。
Look very carefully, Maiden of Death.
これがお前やクルーンたちとは絶対に相入れることはない。
This is the very reason I will never get along with you or Karoon.
自分の欲を満たすために数百人に及ぶ資源を利用し使い捨てにしてきた究極の人でなし。
I'm the ultimate demon who has used and discarded countless lives to satisfy my own greed.
シアン・ブロフィワーズの
I
本当の姿だ。
I am Scien Brofise. Yes, that is your name. I understand. My image of him shattered completely. I mean, it's not good, but it could be worse. Scien Brofise was born as a non-human. From my earliest memories, I had learned countless facts about humans with power, and all other life forms besides them. A simple thought was all I needed to uncover the truth behind mysteries that others would spend their lifetimes contemplating. Which meant that it didn't take long for this isolated country to make quick advancements in culture and technology. Perhaps it was because I saw things as an observer, separate from this world as though I did not exist. A stranger who didn't belong. I was the manifestation of an unknown god with the same virtues and wisdom. I was the absolute Scien Brofis. So is Scien Brofis actually a title? Is that what they're saying? But this interpersonal existence lacked something. I lacked humanity. I was able to muster the minimum amount of emotions to work with those around me, but I felt no passion, love, or even hatred. My emotions were close to non-existence, which resulted in lack of empathy toward others who did not share my views.
なんて退屈な世界か。
What a boring world. The man who didn't shed a single tear when his mother was killed by bandits solved the world's mysteries without any feeling. It was obvious that I would be seen as an outcast or even a heretic by those around me with each passing day. But I didn't have a heart that could feel pain. Still, there was one mystery that spurred me on.
俺が死神の呪いなどというくだらん迷信を打ち破り、この国の人間を生かしてやろう。
I'll disprove this baseless folk tale known as the Curse of Death, and restore life to the country of this people.
俺ならば
People's country.
全ての生命をあらゆる可能性へと導けるはずだ。
I'm able to lead all forms of life to their limitless potential. It didn't come from kindness or compassion, but rather selfishness as the giver of wisdom. I was done with the majority of my projects, and sufficiently bored, which is why I decided to save those who groveled, just to satisfy my selfish desires.
そう、たとえ
Yes, even if. Even if it meant sacrificing a few for the sake of the many who would live in the future. Fortunately for me, my grandfather and my father were already working on creating clones based on the book from the Drifter. I inherited my father's facility after his death, and with the royal family approval, began my research. The first sacrifice was a young man who tortured women to death simply because he wanted liquor. Jerk. The next sacrifice was a lone woman near death from the curse. Some of the Royal Guard soldiers tried to stop me, saying I was going against humanity.
あんたみたいな悪魔と血がつながっているだなんておぞけがするわ。
See? Theory proven. I win, yay. It scares the hell out of me to know that I have the same blood as a demon like you. My sister praised me for my talents, but the moment she learned of my experiments, she tried to stop me from my work. I continued to pile up the bodies.
"23年と1秒の生存。
Still alive at 23 years old and 1 second.
いざ迎えるとあっけないものだな。
Well, this is anticlimactic. It took only a few months to complete my reliver technology and become Subject Zero to venture beyond 23 years of age. But that was totally Salome's voice there as a
これ
sister.
が俺の名誉の裏に隠された真実。
That's the truth behind all this praise.
どれだけ非道だと非難されようと、俺はこの国を真の意味で救済するまで研究をやめるつもりはない。
They can call me a demon all they like, but I will not stop my research until this country is saved once and for all.
それこそが俯瞰の資質を持つ優れた人間としての責務だ。
That is the duty of a superior being who has a view of the bigger picture. After Scien calmly finished telling me his sins, he turned his back to the devices torturing the criminals. But it is. It can't be. He even sacrificed those he called family? I couldn't believe what I heard and was left speechless. I probably had too much faith in Scien, despite Mother's warning. Which would explain why I felt like I was betrayed by this revelation.
言っておくが、俺は悪趣味で人体実験をしていたんじゃない。あくまで効率を重視したまでのこと。
Let me say I wasn't conducting tests on living beings simply because I wanted to. I'm merely focusing on efficiency.
ちょうど俺の寿命も迫っていたからな。他に方法がない以上、手段は選んでいられなかった。
My time was nearing its end back then, so with no other logical choice, I had to resort to extreme measures.
普通の寿命を持つ漂流者が雲隠れしなければ、また結果は違っていたかもしれんが。
Of course, results might have been different if that drifter who had longer lifespan didn't go into hiding. It seemed he was implying that he would have used the drifter as a test subject. The drifter was the benefactor who gave your family the information needed to get to this point, right?
それは祖父の話だろ。俺には関係ない。
To my grandfather, yes, but not me. He didn't even bother hiding his thoughts. Scien's voice and expression were much colder than before. As if he saw me as just another one of his expendable resources. But you don't need to conduct tests on humans anymore, now that the reliver technology is done, right? So why are you continuing these experiments?
お前は以前、俺が語ったことを忘れたか？
Don't tell me you've already forgotten what I said.
知っての通り、俺の専門は
I don't need to explain, but
死の呪いに耐えうる優れたクローン体を効率よく作成するリライバー技術の研究だ。
my research involves the use of reliver technology to create clones for after death.
この国に救う死神の呪いを完全に打破する方法を探すこと。
My mission is to find a way to completely defeat the curse of death that eats away at this country.
つまり根本的な解決こそが 俺の最終的な目標だ。
In other words, to get rid of it for good.
リライバー技術による延命は、所詮時間稼ぎに過ぎないのだからな。
The Reliver technology is simply a way to expend my life to buy time.
何が救いだ、つまらんな。
Salvation my ass.
これは実質ただの延命処置だろう。
It's just a way of extending life, that's all.
バカバカしい。死神の呪いなどあるものか。
We really shouldn't, we should probably leave the job at this point. This is probably a good place. A good time for us to, leave our job before he finds out about our death thing. It would make sense to those who don't know about the death. Absolutely stupid. There's no such thing as the curse of death.
今やこの世を滑るのは神などではなく人間の英知であり、すべての不可解には理由がある。
No god rules this world, and only human wisdom prevails, which can explain the reason behind the unreasonable.
余計な感情などすべて切り捨て、呪いとやらに挑んでやる。
We'll get rid of my useless emotions and face this so-called curse. But the unique feature of a reliver and my short lifespan thwarted my mission. Any strong emotions I once felt completely disappeared once I transferred to a clone. In other words,
オリジナル、生身の時に有していた感性、ひらめきといった感覚までもが持続されず、完全に初期化されてしまうわけだ。
my sensibilities and even my inspiration from my original body don't carry over, as they're completely reset.
その場合、積み上げてきた成長をまた最初から歩み直す必要があるが、
Having limited growth means I have to start over from the beginning each time.
俺は毎回次の領域に至る寸前で寿命を迎えて力尽きる。
And just before I can reach a spark, my life comes to an end. If I could live 5 years longer. No, if I could somehow extend my life by just a year. My brain would surely reach the answers for which I had long been searching for. But each time I updated the clone bodies, it only resulted in insignificant modifications. Once I understood what my efforts were failing, it was then that I finally tested what one would call defeats. Tasted. Which is why you focused on reliver longevity.
ああ、一応この肉体もその研究内容を反映したものだ。
Yeah. This body is the culmination of my research so far.
特殊な薬を飲むことで肺の機能を強化。寿命の直前に現れる呼吸困難などが表面化しづらくなっている。
I strengthened my respiratory system with a special drug that masks the symptoms that arise shortly before death. If I'm reading this right, I don't think that solves the issue of death. That's just... You just don't know that death is coming. And you just die. Because there's no symptoms. At least that's how I'm reading this. That seems like... I don't know, like... It's like not knowing you're sick, but you're actually like deathly sick. Master symptoms that arise shortly before death. Huh? So, do you mean your current body is almost 23 years old?
そうだな。時期としてはいつ心臓が止まってもおかしくない。
That's right. I won't be surprised if my heart stopped at any moment. But if that's the case, shouldn't you be helping Duhat with his research so you can get your brain to work like before?
もしも実現させたら思考を妨げる余計な感情、特に恋愛感情までついてくる。
If his efforts succeed, it will bring back emotions that get in the way of thinking, especially the emotion of love.
結果研究の効率が落ちては本末転倒だろう。誰が好き好んで自分の能力を落とすような真似をするか。
That results in reduced efficiency in my research. I'm not stupid enough to do something that would diminish my genius. Personally, I don't think love would get in the way of the genius. I think he's overreacting on that sense. Scien then glanced at the criminals who were clearly in a great deal of pain.
命を救おうとすることがすなわち善性ではないということは、この光景を見て思い知ったな。
I take it you now realize that all this that's saving lives is not the pure benevolence pursuit you imagined it to be. Just as I nodded in acknowledgement, something happened to one of the prisoners. Without a sound, the man disappeared into nothing, not even leaving behind a trace of a double helix. Weird? What happened? I somehow kept from screaming. So these are the results of the responsibility that Scien mentioned. The technology I looked up to as a miracle from God. It was built on the backs of living sacrifices who suffered excruciating pain. I forcefully suppressed my tears as I swallowed the truth I didn't want to learn.
それを伝えるため、妙に懐きかけていたお前をこの場に連れてきた。
I wanted to relay you my message and bring you here since you were getting too close to me.
常識も感情も倫理も俺にとっては全てどうでもいいこと。
Common sense, emotions, and even morals mean nothing.
間違っても俺を善人などと盲信してくれるな。
So don't you dare ever mistake me for someone good.
俺は好奇心という名の欲望に忠実な運よく裁かれない権力を手にしただけの。
I aim to satisfy my curiosity, and I was lucky to gain a position that lets me do what I want.
神の名を語るただの罪人だ。
I'm just a sinner pretending to be a god. I somehow stumbled to an area where I could feel the cool night air. I wasn't exactly sure how I got here, but...
お疲れ様です。ねぎらってもらうはずが、嫌なお話を聞かせちゃいましたね。
I see you made it out alive. I hope he meant well, but it's all pretty horrible, isn't it? Donut greeted me with a troubled smile. He led us to a corner of the institute where we could sit down on a bench.
気分はどうですか？吐きたいとかあれば遠慮なく言ってくださいね。
So, how do you feel? If you want to let anything out, I'm all ears. Thank you very much, but I'm fine for now.
例の変死事件とかでなんやかんや死体への耐性がついちゃったんですかね。
I suppose those mysterious deaths you witnessed have made you pretty resilient.
だとしてもシアンさんの対応は間違いなく0点ですけ
That's
ど。
sad. Scien's methods earn 0 points in my book.
なんで食事をご馳走するはずが僕でさえうえーってなる光景をお披露目してるんですかね。
I can't believe he actually showed you something that would make even me sick, and after a meal to boot. True,
教
after
え
a
るに
meal.
してもデータを見せるだけにとどめておくとかもうちょっと他にやりようが。
He could have just showed you a data file, or maybe some other thing without... No. It's my fault. I somehow managed to speak as Duhat puffed out his cheeks with frustration. I'm sure Scien noticed that I saw him as someone good and kind. Yves and Mother gave me their warnings. Even Scien made it very clear from the start what kind of person he was. Scien was just looking for a maid, and my respect for him betrayed his expectations. Which is why I think Scien went to the trouble of showing me that, to break my image of the most efficient way in the most efficient way possible. And he did it without a second thought. Donut, did you know he was conducting his experiments on living people?
一応は研究所内では暗黙の了解となってます。
I did, but it's a taboo subject at the institute.
僕自身は手を染めたくありませんけど、結果的にこの国の人々が助かってるんですから、文句を言うこともできなくて。
I don't plan on following in his footsteps, but I can't say much since it's saving lives as a result. Lives of people as a result. Donut then clapped his hands as if he had an idea that would put Scien in a good light.
一応シアンさんも優先的に実験体にする人間は選んでるんですよ。
Oh. But Scien actually is very selective about who he uses as test subjects.
今日来た罪人の人たちなんか女の人を何人も殺したり強盗をしたりな同情の余地すらないゲスばっかりでしたから。
The criminals who came today are total scum who don't deserve to live after robbing and killing an innocent woman.
昔ならいざ知らず、今はもう罪のない人を進んで犠牲に。
Things might have been different before, but we don't go and sacrifice innocent people for tests.
これじゃあ慰めになってませんよね。
I'm not helping, am I? It revealed something probably shouldn't have in that last sentence. I know that you respect Scien, Dahut. I finally smiled, seeing Dahut look at me with sad puppy eyes. It always struck me as amazing that you're his subordinate, and his enemy, and his friend. You two have a unique relationship. Is there a particular reason why you stay with him?
そうですね。やっぱり一階の研究者としては彼の頭脳に憧れちゃいますし。
Let me see. As a researcher, I do admire his intellect.
あとは単純にシアンさんの容姿ですかね。
I would agree. And I guess I'd say Xian's appearance plays a part. Looks?
髪の色です。あの淡い髪色が僕の亡くなった母親とちょっと似てるんですよ。
Also, it's just nice to look at something pretty when you're working. Specifically speaking, the color of his hair. It reminds me of my lost mother's. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. I just noticed Donut's eye color. And lost mother. Salome is his mother. Oh my god, Salome is his mother. I wonder who the father is then. Probably someone important, or maybe it is. I don't know. But I pretty much confirmed. Salome is Scien's sister. Now that I look closer and get that little piece of information, I'm pretty sure Donuts is Salome's son. But like, what happened to make her lost? Bruh. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh my god. That's insane. Wait. I'm remembering something. I forget if it was Donut who appeared there. But wasn't there a scene where someone arrived at the orphanage and like someone there was shocked about someone else's appearance? Like, is that no, it can't be. Never mind. And something like that happened. Oh, when was that? I'm pretty sure it happened. I can't remember when. And I can't remember if Donut was there. I think it might have happened.
だからちょっと親近感みたいなのを感じて、ついついお世話を焼いちゃうんです。
It's just probably why I just happened to look after him like in a mother-son relationship. I don't know how I didn't notice it before. I kind of assumed. I guess I just initially assumed that the eye design was just like literally a design choice, an animated design choice, and I didn't think anything past that. No, it's not. It's not. They're family. That makes Scien his uncle. I wonder if that's why Scien is a little softer toward him. I need to read this out, I'm sorry. Sorry. But it's okay, I'm the only one here, so I'm allowed to do this. Oh, so I just need to let people know. I need to be heard! But I won't give out spoilers, don't worry about that. All right, okay. Let's continue. Oh. I feel like something bad's gonna happen. I feel like something bad's gonna happen to Donuts. He's becoming too important. Your mother's hair color is similar to Scien's hair color? Come to think of it, I do remember your subordinate yelling something about her during all the commotion. Did he? Oh, they said his mother died. Yes. They said his mother died. But that's not true. I mean, I guess it kinda is, cause, I mean, Salome's old. Although he's old too, right? So... Okay. Here's my theory. Okay, so she had her son, who's Donuts, right? And then she found out the curse struck her. And she decided to take a Reliver body. But of course, back then, Reliver technology wasn't very advanced, right? Because this was in the beginning, since... This is in the very, very, very beginning. So, she decided to take a Reliver body. I don't know, maybe so she could take care of her son? But in the process, she lost her memories. And I guess probably either just literally just went off, walked off, and disappeared in her new body. Not remembering she had a son. Or with the, like, discovery, I assume they were still discovering that when you're alive, you lack emotions. Or upon that discovery, feeling like she couldn't take care of her son properly. And so, so pretending she was dead and having someone else take care of him. I don't know what other family he has, but... So it could be something like that. I'm trying to think. The brain's going. It's rolling. So, I mean, they did mention in one part, like, that's, oh, Scien, you probably didn't even mention the risks that come with reliver technology, become a reliver, and stuff. So, obviously, implying that there are risks, and obviously, at the start of technology, nothing is perfect. There are glitches, and things happen. And since she is his sister, she is as old as him. And Donuts was mentioning he was old too. So I imagine he's almost equally as old. So that makes me assume that's what's making me assume that she had her son before she became a reliver. I can't wait to be right. Okay. I'm excited learning all this. But who's the father then? Who's the father? Or is the father not important? I would imagine maybe the father died, naturally. Or maybe that has something to do with why there's so much malice between Salome and Scien. Maybe it has maybe it has something to do with the father. Like this probably isn't what's happening, but maybe the father actually wasn't that great a person. And, you know, Donut did just imply that he used to use innocent humans back in the day. So maybe Scien used Donut's father, aka Salome's husband, for, like, his reliver experiments. And so that's why Salome hates him. Or an additional reason, because as in the flashback, we did see her being disgusted when she found out he was using live humans. So it's like maybe that's discovery that he used her husband was the last straw, and she ran away and became a sister. Or maybe she was just, like, scared, finding all that out, and ran away to become a sister to, like, hide herself. And eventually he found her, and I still don't. And they're writing letters, but they said there's, like, she's working on something. He's working on the thing, so, like, what is she working on then? Or maybe that's why she ran away. She played dead. That probably is it, because whatever she's working on, because the whole reason she's sending, receiving letters with Scien is because they have like, they're talking business. That's the only reason they're communicating. So whatever business she's got going on, or is in with, might be the reason why she abandoned Donuts and made Donuts believe that she was dead, as is in to protect him from whatever she's in with. Because also, like I said, I had that theory that she's the one who threw acid on Barreau, because that was a woman's voice, and there's only so many women in here in this game. So maybe she somehow got caught in the whatever Barreau is, whatever group he's part of, and she didn't want her son getting caught up in it, so she faked her death. Because how did he say she died? I'm pretty sure they mentioned how she died. Oh gosh, I'm pretty sure he mentions she was killed. So if it was by, like, Barreau's people, or if it was... No, wait, I think he said it was like a robber or something. Or something. Or bandits? But easily enough, she could have faked her death. So she could protect Donuts. I think that might be it. And probably also why she now takes care of the orphanage. Because, you know, she misses that feeling of being a mother. Or regrets that she can never live that out and be a proper mother to him. And so she wants to be a good mother to the orphanage kids. I'm figuring it all out. Maniacally laughing while doing a puzzle. Sorry. Alright, let's get back to the game. Okay. Let's get back to the game. Okay. Up. Let me breathe. Let me breathe. Let me breathe. I'm sorry. Should I not have said anything?
ああ、いえいえ。ありきたりなお話なので、逆にどう説明したものか悩んじゃっただけですよ。
It's just because I'm gonna like... not at all. I'm just sort of stumped how to explain myself since it isn't anything special.
別に隠すことでもありませんし、普通にお話しします。
Yes, tell me. Let me put more pieces together. I like puzzles. It's nothing to hide, so I'll just tell you. Donut looked up at the night sky, then began to explain while he was working as a researcher. Oh, okay. The reason my mother passed away wasn't something unusual. She only died because she didn't make it in time to become a reliver. Oh, okay, so that's it. See? Simple, right? This was something common throughout Archipel. Though there was one unusual thing that made her death different. Her death was different. She didn't rely on reliver technology, and she didn't limit over her short life would be, unlike the Society of Exorcists. She actually longed to live life as a normal human by trying to find a way to get rid of the curse. I want to continue to live without losing the same hands that held you. It's another thing I was on too. Or, well, she is a reliver. Unless she's something else, but I'm pretty sure she's... Oh, well, if she is something else, that might explain the... He wants to know what she is, what she did. So he can figure out... So Scien could figure out more, like, information on how to... get rid of the curse. Or... make people's lives longer. But it's also... If she is a reliver... It's also possible that Scien, like, if she's older, I don't know who's older, Scien or Salome. But if she's older, then she likely would have started to die first, right? So maybe Scien, when he still had emotions, wanted to save his sister, and against her wishes, made her become a reliver. Which is another reason why she would hate him. Because she didn't want to be a reliver. She wanted to, as said, hold her son with hands that could still feel emotions. As herself. And since she was forced to become a reliver by her brother, then... Oh gosh, my mind's running a mile a minute. so since she was like forced to become a reliver, she would hate her brother naturally because it went against her wishes. I'm excited. I'm getting tongue-tied. She felt like she couldn't be a good mother, so her death was faked. She's maybe ashamed of what she was now. Felt like she didn't deserve to be a mother, maybe. So that is a possibility. He might have forced her to become a reliver. Okay. I'm settling down. Let's continue. Okay, like if this keeps happening, I'm gonna set up a text thing that says like theory time and put it on the screen, so if that way anyone who walks in doesn't get like smacked in the face with, I mean, I wouldn't call them spoilers because they're not confirmed, but with very highly very plausible spoilers. Plausibility spoilers. So I'm sure I'm right. At least in some parts of it, but I mean, either way. Alright, text. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna do it. Yeah. I'll make it prettier later. Oh, but I want an exclamation mark there. Yeah, I can't do that, but that SpongeBob thing. I want to type. Let me type. Let me type. Maybe I should just, like, okay, let's just make new text instead of figuring out how to edit it. Remove. Yes. Add. Text. There we go. Alright, so now I have this handy for whenever I have one of my moments. Alright, and I'll just like, we don't need it right now. Let's not make it invisible. Alright, okay. Okay. Okay, we're good. We're good. I'm excited. Alright, let's go. I can't imagine how happy I was when she said that to me. I was proud of my mother, who actually respected what little life we had. Again, she couldn't face her son.
その気持ちは今でも変わりません。だから、そんな優しい母と再会したくて、僕は研究者になったんですよ。
My feelings since then haven't changed. That's why I became a researcher in the hopes of seeing my kind mother once again.
ですが、現状の技術で母を蘇らせても、彼女の望まぬ形になってしまうから。
But even if we revived her with the current technology, it would be in a form she wouldn't want.
今はちょっと保留中です。せめてメモリーの改良が済むまで、感動の再会はお預けですね。
So she's on hold for now. I figure we can have our touching reunion once the memory system's been improved. Something sad's gonna happen. Like she's gonna die in Salome's arms, or he's gonna die in Salome's arms, or something like that. And there at that moment, the truth's gonna be like revealed or something. And I'll probably end up crying. Actually, the thought of it has me like tearing up a little bit. Donut smiled innocently. His desire was a unique one. He held on to a beautiful, precious wish to one day reunite with his mother.
器に重きを置くシアンさんに対し、
Chapstick on.
僕は人間の定義を
Done at the beginning.
知、肉体、精神、揃ってこそだと紐付けています。
Let's see if that makes things easier for me to speak. All right. Unlike Scien, who places emphasis on vessel, I consider one's reliable complete if their flesh, blood, and mind are intact.
ですが呪いによってどうしても肉体を捨てなければならないのなら、
But the curse forces us to discard our bodies, whether we want to or not.
せめて精神だけでも母が憧れた普通の人間に近づけてあげたいと思いまして。
I want to at least bring back my mother's mind so she can be as close to a normal human as she desired. That's a wonderful dream. I'm sure it'll happen, Donuts. I hope Scien will help you reach your goal one day.
ありがとうございます。それまで第一班が取り潰されないように祈っていてください。
Thank you very much. If anything, pray that Team 1 doesn't get dismantled before then.
本当はね、方法自体は思いついてるんです。
To be honest, I already know a way to do that.
感情を司るメモリー、心臓の容量を増やし強化してあげればいい。
We simply need to increase the size of the heart and strengthen the properties so that the memory can retain emotions.
感情を得た多くの心臓をつなぎ合わせることでさらなる人工心臓を作る。
So we need to create another artificial heart that's connected to other hearts containing the person's memories. Emotions. But the fact it hasn't been done means
リライバーの心臓はただの心臓ではダメだから、一つ作るのに膨大な手間と犠牲が出てしまいます。
yeah. And he said he didn't want he wasn't really supportive of Cien's whole sacrificing humans for the advancements of research thing. But if he wanted to make this happen, he probably would have to do the same thing. But a Reliver's heart isn't an ordinary heart. So countless hours and many sacrifices are needed to make just one of them.
そもそも記憶のダウンロードは本人の心臓にしかできませんしね。
And we can only download memories into a
臓器に
person's
だって
hearts.
適合不適合というものがあります。
There is such a thing as whether the organ matches the person or not.
他にもたくさんの問題があるから。
We have a ton of other problems too. It seems he didn't have the power to conduct the level of research required. Donut looked up into the sky and let out a sigh.
はあ、真っ向での勝負が叶わないのなら、いっそ僕も後ろ盾作ろうかな。
I know I can't face him on even ground. So maybe I should drum up some supporters.
シアンさんの代理で外部対応してるうちに、王族の方々に結構気に入られちゃったんですよね。ほら、僕ってば可愛げがあるので。
I mean, he is a cutie pie. The royal family has taken a liking to me since I worked with them in Cien's place. I'm a cutie pie after all. Cringe. But wouldn't doing that make Scien angrier than necessary?
ですね。シアンさんは王族の人たちが大の大嫌いですし。
Yeah. After all, Scien really hates the royal family. After swinging his legs for a bit, Donut quickly hopped off the bench.
話がそれちゃいましたけど、少しは気が晴れました？
Looks like we ended up talking a while. Are you feeling a bit better? Yes. Thank you for spending so much time with me. But I did leave without asking him what I should do tomorrow. I guess I'll stay at the orphanage for a while and spend some time thinking.
ええ、僕もそれがいいと思います。ですが、お別れの前に一点だけ。
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Oh, before we part ways,
僕はあなたがシアンさんの期待を裏切っただなんて思っていませんよ。
I really don't think you betrayed Cian's expectations one bit.
だってシアンさんってば。
After all, I spoke to Cian before, and come on, give me the juice. Give me the juice.
研究員ならシアンさんの持つ才能とそれに向けられる尊敬によって御すことができるでしょうけど、
To use the other researchers as example, you can control them with your talents and by using their respect toward you, Cian.
彼女はあくまで一般人なんですか
But
ら。
she's an ordinary girl.
面倒くさい。
This is getting tiring.
はあ、もういいです。そんなに彼女から愛想をつかされたいのなら、どうぞご自由に。
Fine. If you really wanted her to become disgusted with you, be my guest.
って感じで、僕の脅しにちょこっと動揺してましたもん。
And there you have it. He was actually a little flustered when I said that. Huh?
シアンさんの思考回路は謎すぎて、付き合いの長い僕も理解できません。
I've been with Cian since forever, but I still don't fully understand his thought process.
ですが、少なくとも、あの人が今まで突き放してきた人間たちとは違う立ち位置にいると思います。
But at the very least, I think you're someone different compared to the countless people he's dumped before.
手放すのが惜しいと、無自覚に思ってしまうほどには。
So much that he instinctively doesn't want to let you go. Never let go, Cian. Never let go. Okay, maybe let go a little bit. Dennis stretched his arms wide and spun around on the spots.
どうせあの人の考えていることなんてわかりませんし、ガンガンうぬぼれていいんじゃないですか。
You're never gonna find out what he's thinking, so why not be browsing?
それこそ自分の影響で、彼が非人道的な実験をやめてくれるかもなんて、愛の奇跡を高望みしても OK です。
Don't be afraid of sparking a fire of love in him so he might stop his heinous experiments, okay? Although if you think about it, I mean, looking at, Jean, it could potentially, under certain circumstances, do the opposites. Just saying. Maybe he knows what Jean was doing, and that's why he doesn't want a feeling of love. Because he doesn't want to be Jean. Because no one wants to be Jean. Fuck you, Jean. I could tell I was blushing from hearing De Hutt's innocent words. Love? But I don't have those kinds of feelings for Cian. Don't lie to yourself. You're lying. I see it. How in the world did he come up with that idea anyway?
シアンさんが女性をそばに置くってこと自体、前例がないというか、天変地異の前触れなんですよ。
Cian's never kept a girl by his side. It's something like the harbinger of a cataclysmic events.
僕からすれば、リライバー技術の開発より革命的な事件です。
If you ask me, you're a bigger deal than the development of reliver technology. That's a big deal. Stop joking around.
大げさでいいじゃないですか。もうこの際、あの人の意味深な言動は全部前向きに捉えましょう。
Hi, it's okay to joke around a little. For now, why don't we take everything he says and go in a positive light? He smiled like an angel.
セレスさん、もしもあなたが考えた末に、あの人を地上に降ろしたいと思ったなら。
Sorry, I thought he was gonna say something. I thought he was suggesting we tie him up. Like, excuse me? What would that solve? Other than being slightly kinky. Cerez, if you decide you want to steal his lab coat and bind him to the human realm...
その時は僕も全力でお手伝いします。全力で神様を気取るあの人を引きずり下ろしてやりましょうよ。
I'll do my very best to help you. Let's drag that wannabe god down from the mountain. Yes, let's go donuts. We love donuts. Donut boldly demonstrated his plan to rebel against God. The terribly long day finally came to an end. I was kind of hoping Donut walked us home so I could see if there was I got any expression from Salome when she saw him. I fell into my bed as though I would never wake up again. Or at least that's what I thought. What's happening? Oh, okay. We just can't sleep. I can't sleep. My mind held on to the sickening sights, and I felt nausea and tears swell up inside me. I never thought a person could completely disappear into dust, genes and all. He disappeared into stardust. There was no way I could get it out of my mind. I got up and went to the kitchen to try to settle my stomach with a glass of water. It turned out someone was there ahead of me.
やっぱり来たわね、セレス。
I knew you'd come, Cerez.
深夜遅くに帰ってきたと思ったら、ひどい顔色で部屋にこもるから心配していたのよ。
I was so worried when I saw you come home pale, only to head straight to your room. Mother... She probably knew I was going to come, as she already had 2 cups of hot milk ready. Mother gracefully handed me one of them.
さあ、怒らないから席に座りなさい。
I'm not angry with you, so have a seat.
大方あの人でなしが、とうとうあなたに何かしでかしたんでしょ？
I assume that bastard did something to make you so pale, correct? You're right. I guess I can't hide anything from you, Mother. The gentle steam rising from the milk slowly comforted my soul. I told Mother what happened at the Institute without describing the actual details.
そう。あいつがわざわざ自分から明かすとは、さすがに予想外だったわ。
I see. I never expected him to actually disclose everything to you.
でもこれで、私の警告の意味が理解できたでしょ。
But you know now why I warned you before, right? Yes, you knew everything, didn't you, Mother? Mother gave a small nod in response.
私は彼に続く最初期に生み出されたリライバーの一人で、セルネボルに近い場所に住んでいた。
Sorry, I'm so intense. It's like... See? I called it. Okay. Let me put theory time on just for a second. Actually, let me move this somewhere else. I need it in a different color, like seriously. Alright, anyway, while I position this. So see? So in one hand, Duhat was saying that she was against becoming a reliver. She didn't want to become a reliver, and that made him proud. Right? But now we have confirmation that she is one of the first relivers. Thus proving my theory that she was first to become a reliver. Or, well, not proving, not quite yet, but supporting my theory that she was forced to become a reliver. Oh, except for the only thing that was not proven was, I thought she was like the first to become a reliver, but she's the second. Which I guess actually would make sense, because okay, never mind. Let's read Zoe then. Because he would be the first reliver, because, you know, he said he wanted to expand his lifespan so he could figure out the whole, situation and save the people from dying of, the curse. So he would have become the first. But I still believe. But no, because then if he became the first, he wouldn't have had feelings, right? Because the only reason... So unless he did have feelings... I'm saying this wrong, because I'm, like, excited. I imagine you would have to force your sibling to become a reliver to save their lives would require feelings. So Scien was the first one to become a reliver. And in the first reliver phase, they lost their feelings then. Then why would he force his sister to become a reliver? Unless there were still some feelings there, maybe? I don't know, maybe I missed something, but... But either way, she became a reliver against her own choice. She did not choose it. I'm getting that impression. Alright, okay. Yep. There we go. Okay, we're good. I need to change the color of that. Okay. It's because I was one of the first relivers after him. I used to live near Chernaval. Oh, duh.
その縁で偶然
I'm using the wrong
彼の所
thing.
業を
Using
知
the
る機
mouse.
会があったのよ。
It was then I happened to discover what he was doing. Does anyone else know what he does?
一般人では私だけじゃないかしら。彼は別に隠すつもりはなくて、公表しても構わないと昔言っていたけ
I
ど、
may be the only one. He did say that he wasn't hiding anything, that I could make it all public.
さすがに王族が人体実験に協力しているなんて公になったら、ね。
But if it became known the royal family was cooperating with him, well, the resulting chaos would be trouble.
何せ狭い国だもの。大規模な暴動一つで滅びかねないわ。
Oh, I can understand that, okay? A large triad in a small country like this would bring this place to ruin.
そういう理由もあって、あなたにも事情を話すことができなかったの。
Which is why I couldn't say anything,
不安にさせてごめんなさいね。
not even to you. And I'm sorry if I made you feel anxious. No. If you didn't give me your warning, my relationship with Scien would have ended much sooner. I wondered if what Anko told me before was related to this.
私としては、ぜひそのまま破綻して関係を断ってほしいところだけど。
If you ask me, I would be happy if your arrangement with him concluded.
知人が罪を犯していたなんて、そう簡単に割り切れるようなことじゃないんでしょうね。
Of course, I think it'll actually take some time for you to actually accept that someone you knew is a grave sinner. She spoke in a joking way, but the words themselves were serious. Mother took a sip of hot milk, then looked at me with a serious expression.
結局、どうするの？あの男の本性を知ってもなお、あなたは使いたいと思う？
So what now? Do you still want to work for him even after learning what he's doing? For some reason, I thought we already paid it off. I don't think I have a choice, since I need to keep working for him in order to pay off the bracelets.
こらこら、何のために母がいると思ってるの？
Now, have you forgotten that you have a mother?
あなたが嫌なら、私があの男にガツンと言ってあげるから。あなたはあなたのしたいようにしなさい。
If you don't want to be with him anymore, say the word and I'll tell him myself to leave you alone. Mother laughed, saying that he wouldn't dare do anything against her. Her words were kind and thoughtful. I don't know. I felt myself relying on her like a child. I looked down as my body shook, and the tears that welled up in my eyes slowly fell into the milk and disappeared. I've always relied on others my whole life, but now I'm serving Scien because he asked for my help. We might not talk much, but I was content. I was happy. Even if it was only for a short time, I wanted to do what I could for him. Those are my honest feelings. And yet... when I saw Scien abusing other humans without a thought, like their lives didn't matter, it was then that I realized how scary he really is. I must look like a complete mess to Mother right now. I'd spread my fair share of misfortune onto others, bringing many to their deaths. But I was actually scared now, blaming Scien without looking at what I had done myself. I knew I was being extremely selfish, yet I'm afraid of Scien. But his eyes, the way he looks at things objectively, evaluating their true value as an observer, it's so beautiful. I really don't want to lose my opportunity to see his vision at work. Hearing my honest stream of thoughts, Mother looked surprised.
と
Well,
あなたのことをまっすぐに見てくれる人は他にもたくさんいると思うけれど、
I'm sure there are many others who see you in the same earnest way.
それこそシアンよりも優しくて素敵な男性は他にも山のようにいるんじゃ。
She just doesn't want her brother to marry her daughter. Which, I mean, I don't blame you, just speaking that out loud. That would be weird. To have your brother marry your daughter. That would be weird. I'm also very sure there are kinder and more wonderful men out there than Scien. In fact, nearly all of them. Of course I know. I mean, Adolf and the others look at me and treat me like a normal person. But he's different. We like red lights. It's as simple as that. We like red lights. To be honest, I wasn't entirely sure why I was so drawn to Scien. He wasn't a good person. He wasn't kind. On the contrary, he was quite unreasonable, threatening to fire or execute anyone who let their guard down around him. I'm sorry, Mother. I'm not making any sense, am I?
いいのよ。すぐに答えが出せる問題じゃないわ。
It's fine. I doubt you can come to a conclusion so soon.
けれど悩むなら悪夢に見るほど悩み抜きなさい。
But if you're going to worry about it, worry to the point that it becomes a nightmare.
苦しくなったら私が無理にでも起こしてまたホットミルクを入れてあげるから。
But if you begin to suffer over it, I can always force you awake and make you some hot milk. Okay. Thank you very much, Mother. Another teardrop fell when I heard Mother's caring words. But I held my tears back, not wanting her to continue consoling a crybaby like me. Salome is good. Should I return to Scien or not? I said I didn't have a choice, but I knew. I knew that Scien wouldn't say anything if I decided to leave. After all, forcing me to work against my will would only reduce his efficiency. He would probably shrug and let me go without asking me to pay up, saying it was no use hiring someone who wasn't motivated. It's pretty sad that I can't see that happening. He wouldn't let me see a sliver of my image of him. Not in the slightest. He really is cruel.